Line art is something that most artists are probably familiar with, but I've never done that. Normally I just stick to sketching, but artists are supposed to branch out. So I decided to learn a skill that I should have learned a long time ago, with my pen. I should preface this by saying that this technically isn't my first time doing it, but the first time that shows my growth as an artist. So I grabbed some old drawings, and I got to work doing what I should have done a long time ago. So I started off with a Macleod drawing, and for my first time, it wasn't too bad. Until I realized how bad I was messing up and drawing the lines way too dark. I should have started with much lighter lines, but I kept going. I had to kind of guess on how I was supposed to do the shadows, but from there, it was pretty basic lines. Granted, they were much darker than they should have been, but it was too late now, and they weren't all that straight either. But that was as good as it was gonna get, and so I had to keep going. It was pretty standard from there, even though my pen did have some difficulties moving across the paper. Then this happened. My pen clicked for whatever reason. I don't even know why it does that. But I was about finished anyways, and this was the final product. The lines were not straight at all, but they did pop out more, so that was good. So then I moved on to my next one, a March 7th drawing from a couple of months ago. And I knew this one would be harder because there was more shading. And I think I started off pretty decent, and I had a lot of hope for this one. And to be honest, it's one of my favorite drawings I've done, so I couldn't afford to mess it up. It was probably one of the most detailed ones I've ever done, because I like the detail that I added with the eye coloring. And to be honest, I think line art would really help this one. And while I was drawing, I was getting flashbacks to when I used to play Honkai. And it was a lot of fun, but since then, I like to think that I've went outside and touched grass. But anyways, I added more lines for the shadow, because that might have been where I screwed up the first time, and it turned out pretty good. The shadows looked more like shadows and the lines popped out more. So this actually made the drawing look a lot better, and it makes the sketch look kind of boring in comparison. So for the last one, I decided that I was going to do my dumbest drawing, and I knew that was going to be pretty easy because of the simple lines. So instead of what I did with the Macleod drawing, I decided to fill the dark hair in with ink, and it looked pretty good until I messed one eye up, and that pretty much ruined the whole drawing. But the line art itself was pretty decent, even though the drawing itself didn't really change. Anyways, that was my first time doing line art. I guess it was kind of decent. Anyways, subscribe so I could eat something. Alright, bye.